Good evening. Welcome to Quays News at 5. I'm Harry Cohen.
And I'm Holly Roberts. Coming on this evening's programme.
Trams across Salford and Eccles have been stopped dead in their tracks as a fault has caused services across the city to come to a halt.
Morrison's have launched a scheme feeding those who are struggling due to the cost of living crisis.
A new memorial has been erected honouring fallen Salford soldiers. For many, the tram network is a vital way of travelling around the city, but due to a technical error on the line, services are currently not in use between Eccles and Cornbrook. Here's George with the latest.
Trams around Salford and the Greater Manchester area have been suspended due to overhead power failures. Some passengers have been reported being asked to leave the tram and walk some considerable distance. Now, even passengers at Cornbrook, which is at some real height, have been asked to get off the tram and walk down the tracks. This woman was off for a day out at the Quayside shopping outlet, but her plans have been stopped in their tracks.
They should be more efficient. If the wind's causing the problems, they should have stopped the trams running in the first place. But actually to be on a tram waiting for someone to expect us to climb down a ladder, and there's a lady here with her mother in a wheelchair, what is she supposed to do when we're stuck between stations?
Metrolink are here down at the Salford Quays. You can see their van just behind me with flashing lights, coming to try and make repairs to the power failures that are affecting the overhead tram lines. As we head into rush hour, it's going to cause some real issues for commuters. Back to you guys in the studio.
An update from Metrolink reads, due to the third-party incident, there are currently no trams between Eccles and Cornbrook. However, ticket acceptance is in place for many bus services and is expected to last the remainder of the service. 29 Salford soldiers have not been commemorated in a memorial until now. Veterans in Swinton have campaigned to get their own memorial.
A place to remember, a place to grieve. Salford soldiers are now celebrated with this new memorial, fundraised by veterans.
You know, we've got 29 guys there that went to a foreign field, and never came home. A lot of these families, when they died, they did go to local borough councils and ask, you know, can I have my husband, brother, father's name on the memorial? And they were all told no. We got the idea of setting up the Salford Veterans Association, and the very first thing I did was then go back to the council and say, what about this memorial? Because we should be celebrating them, we shouldn't be just burying them in the past, and hopefully this is what will happen now.
The lad called Glenn Croston, he had to raise, it was either £3,000 or £5,000, and then the Salford Council said to him, when you raise that, we will match it. And he did. He stood in supermarkets week after week after week, collecting money and all sorts, and he's raised the money.
So what does this mean for veterans like yourself?
It's massive. We lost friends and comrades in Northern Ireland, and all over the country there's been nothing really to remember them. And they're not reflected anywhere.
It means a great deal to know that their sacrifice was not in vain, that they are remembered, as we've heard from the Kahima epitaph. They will be remembered forever, and it is lovely that there is a place specifically to remember them.
The sacrifices of Salford soldiers will now and forever be remembered. Eleanor Haynes, Quays News, Salford.
The Fire Brigade Union have installed a new red plaque in Sale. We now have Adam Clark in the studio with us to tell us more about the scheme.
Yeah, thanks, Holly. The Red Plaque scheme is fully funded by the proceeds from the weekly Firefighters 100 lottery from the Fire Brigades Union, which has been able to create several plaques each year since it began in 2017. Here's Ed Burrows, Fire Brigades Union Regional Secretary for the North West, talking about the new plaque unveiled in Sale.
Just like any firefighter death, the unexpected happens, and this was an old hotel standing here, and during the fire the hotel started to collapse, and John Johnson Hunt unfortunately got caught up in that collapse. Unfortunately that does happen occasionally, and he was obviously ultimately killed by those injuries. unfortunately, there's many across the region. We've had a lot of firefighters that we've sadly lost, some many years ago, like this one in 1909, and unfortunately more recent ones within Manchester itself. So it's one of those things that hopefully we'll never need again, but unfortunately we probably will. It's a very high risk occupation, and some firefighters do go above and beyond and make the ultimate sacrifice.
It looked like there was a very good turnout for the event on Friday.
Yeah, definitely. From pictures that we've seen from the events, families of ex-firefighters were there, including John Johnson Hunt, who was commemorated in that plaque amongst other current staff from the fire service.
Thank you, Adam.
Thanks.
As the cost of living crisis continues to affect families up and down the country, Morrisons and Heinz have teamed up offering free meals to anyone who needs it, as a nod to Heinz founder Henry J. Heinz, who would hand out meals with his mother as a child and was often quoted saying, "Give all you can, wisely."
Schemes like this are being rolled out at supermarkets up and down the country, with Asda offering a winter warmer soup and a roll for £1 and an M&S offering a free kids meal when an adult spends over a £5.
We asked the people of Eccles what they think of the scheme, and they said a warm meal will really benefit people during the winter when they can't even afford to warm their own homes.
I don't know about you, Harry, but that has made me really want a jacket potato.
Oh, me too, Holly, but I think the most important question is, how do you have your jacket spud? I am strictly cheese and beans, but it simply must be Heinz.
See, I used to be a tuna and sweet corn gal, but I have recently become a baked beans lover.
You can't have a hot potato and cold tuna, it just does not work.
It does,
no.
But unfortunately I can't have a jacket potato at the moment because my microwave is unfortunately broken and I can't have one.
Well, a jacket potato is exactly what you need as it starts to get colder. Poppy, what is the weather looking like over these next few days?
Yes, thanks Holly and Harry. So as you can see here in Salford Quays, it's very windy and rainy, and this weather is expected to continue right through into next week, with even thunder and lightning storms forecast. So if you expected bonfire night this weekend to go out with a bang, it may not be in the way that you thought. With this in mind, everyone should keep an eye on any announcements from fireworks events they had planned on going to in Salford, as there's cause for concern that these could be rained off. Sorry to dampen anyone's weekend plans.
Well, it is bonfire night this Saturday, Holly. Have you got any plans? Do you have any memories of bonfire night?
So my favourite memory of bonfire night, because unfortunately I'm not going this year, is when my dad just defied the laws of the fireworks and shot one sideways into our greenhouse and set it on fire, rather than upwards into the sky like you're supposed to do. And the whole family was there watching. He set it, ran off, and it still went wrong.
Well, I have no exciting, eventful memories of bonfire night because all my dad's fireworks were a bit naff. I remember once we had a Catherine wheel and it just wouldn't spin. So it was always a bit of a disappointment. But I think the most important part of bonfire night, and my favourite part, is the food. I think you've got your pie and black peas huddled around the fire with your black peas.
No, I'm not a black peas person. I'm a mushy pea person.
No, you're a Yorkshire lass, I'm a Lancashire lad.
You've got
it has
to
to be
mushy
black
peas.
peas with salt and vinegar.
No, mushy peas with a good pie and a good drink. And then you've got the bonfire in front of you. But we started going to organisational ones.
Yeah. I think they are better organised ones, more safe, especially rather than having ones in your own place. But
that's all from us tonight. You can catch more of Quays on Instagram and Twitter at Quays TV.
Thank you and good night.